Here's why.
Do you think my guy deserves to be in that conversation?
Kobe?
Yes.
For sure. 100%.
So how come he's not all the time?
Here's why I think he's not. Number one, he played with you, and people hold that against him. Number two, Kobe kind of fell in a weird time. And what I mean by that is Mike left the league. When Mike left the league, y'all were dominating. And then when you left the Lakers, they had a few rough years. Wasn't great. They didn't have great rosters. It wasn't great. While it wasn't going great, there was a young guy in Cleveland starting to make his hay. And so in the years where Kobe could have been dominating, which he was from a number standpoint, but they weren't winning none, in those years, Bron was making his hay and starting to make his name, and is he the best player? And I think the amount of time that it was a consensus that Kobe was the number one in the league, like the top guy. I don't think it was long enough for everybody to say, like, to put him in that conversation, because Bron then came and put his name in the conversation. And so from that point on, it's tug of war. Christmas Day games between those two guys. And so I don't think he accumulated enough people in saying that he dominated the way Mike dominated in the length of time that Mike dominated. Bron, the length of time that he's dominated. I don't think Kobe dominated himself for that length of time. I think he's definitely in the conversation, but I do think that's the reason why most people don't put him there.
So I'm back. So I want to talk about the video we just saw, Draymond Green breaking down his reasons of why Kobe is left off the greatest of all time list, mainly by the media, because we know the media is really the only and the main ones that lead Kobe off the GOAT list, and LeBron fans. But I want to take a deep dive into the explanations and reasons that he gave, because I don't really agree with them. I understand some of the stuff he was saying, but it's all BS to me, and it all don't make sense to me. So getting into what Draymond said, the first thing that he said is something that's been said for the longest. It's the oldest and the dumbest reason. You could tell, like, when people haven't evolved and just use the same tired old excuses as they did 10, 20 years ago, that doesn't even hold weight anymore. So first he said that it's the simple fact that Kobe played with Shaq. So Kobe playing with Shaq is the reason why he left off the GOAT list, and people hold that against him. Now, if you're a Kobe fan, or if you're a Laker fan, or if you've been watching basketball since the mid 2000s, you know that people used to always say that, and that used to be the main reason to basically downplay Kobe. Oh, Shaq won the first three. Well, he won all the finals MVPs. Shaq was the best player. Shaq won finals MVP. You know, that's what the haters and people always like to say to discredit Kobe. It's been like that since the beginning. But that's already been disproven, because that was like mainly LeBron fans using that as the excuse, but it doesn't hold weight anymore for a couple reasons. Number one, every single great player or top 10 player then played with another top 20 player, then played with a great player besides maybe Michael Jordan. And that's why Michael Jordan probably is really the GOAT, because he the only one that won with somebody who not a top 20, 25 player. Like Scottie Pippen is underrated to me. He's a top 50, top 75 player of all time, because he made both lists, which he does deserve to make both lists. He does deserve to be a Hall of Famer, but nobody, I don't think, will have Scottie Pippen as a top 20, top 25 player of all time. He falls somewhere in between the 25 and 50 range. And so Jordan is really the only one. But if we go down the list of all the other people who are in the GOAT conversation, all of them, everybody else played with a great player also. Magic had Kareem. So Magic and Kareem, both of them come up in the top 5 and in the GOAT conversation, but they had each other. Magic won all 5 of his rings with Kareem. At least Kobe won 2 without Shaq. Kareem won 4 out of 5 of his championships with Magic. Kobe won 2 without Shaq. So it's like, how is Kareem and Magic both in the GOAT conversation when they had each other and they won less rings without each other than they did with each other? Like, it just doesn't make sense. So that's why I said it doesn't hold weight, because nobody holds it against Kareem for playing with Magic or Magic for having Kareem. And then who else? Of course, LeBron. Let's get into LeBron for all of the LeBron fans. Back when LeBron was on the Cavs the first time, they used to always use this excuse that LeBron didn't play with Shaq. But now in this day and age, since then, LeBron fans can't use that excuse because look at all of the players that LeBron played with. And that's why I hate the bias and the favoritism that comes along with this. Like people love bringing up Kobe playing with Shaq, but but LeBron done played with more all-stars and superstars than everybody. Like it just doesn't make sense. He played with D Wade, who we know is a Hall of Famer, probably the top 25 player of all time. He played with Kyrie Irving, and we see how good Kyrie Irving is. Kyrie might be about to win another championship, and we know he's one of the most skilled players of all time. Then he played with Anthony Davis, who's an all NBA type player that made all NBA first team before. I think he made second team this year. A defensive player. He hasn't won Defensive Player of the Year, but his name is always in the conversation. A 25 and 10 guy. You know, a Hall of Famer. Anthony Davis is going to be a Hall of Famer. So LeBron then played with 3 Hall of Famers. And on top of, and then not even mentioning like other all-stars and great players like Kevin Love and Chris Bosh. And then even Ray Allen, who was still the best shooter at the time. You know, before Steph Curry came, Ray Allen was probably considered the greatest shooter of all time. It was either like him or Larry Bird or Reggie Miller. So, like, what are we talking about? And then, even though some of these players was past their prime, they still helped them win the championship. Like, we know how Rondo and Dwight Howard helped the Lakers win that bubble championship. And we know that Dwight Howard and Rondo, they borderline Hall of Famers. I don't know if they'll make it or not, but they on the borderline. So it's like nobody wants to bring that up, and that's what kills me is that look at who, like LeBron had played with 3 Hall of Famers and then switched teams 3 times. So why don't they all hold that against him being in the GOAT conversation? I do, but it's crazy that most people don't. That's why I say people like to pick and choose when they want to hold something against somebody. Like, and I hate that. Like people, just like people want to pick and choose when, oh, this person lost, so it's okay because they went against the better team. Like people like to hold that against, like, and it's always a LeBron just so happened, which is crazy. And that's why a lot of people don't like LeBron. And a lot of people criticize LeBron on the opposite end because of how the media like to play, like, you know, like they don't hold Kobe and LeBron to the same standard. Because when LeBron was overmatched. He couldn't beat the Warriors. The Warriors was better. Or when he got swept by the Spurs, oh, he took a trash team to the finals. He couldn't win. So, but then y'all don't do that. For one, LeBron fans and haters don't do that with Jordan when we always bring up the fact that Jordan was losing to the Celtics that was better than him and the Pistons who had a better team than him. You know, like before Scottie Pippen even became great, it was just Michael Jordan. But y'all hold the Celtics sweeping him against him. Like it doesn't make sense at all. Like people want to pick and choose when they want to hold something against somebody, and that's BS. So that's BS holding Shaq against Kobe when y'all don't hold LeBron switching teams 3 times and playing with 3 Hall of Famers against him. And then Dwayne Wade won a championship before LeBron. LeBron didn't win a championship before Shaq didn't win a championship before Kobe. So it's like I don't understand how that worked. And then when we looking at I don't even know who else is really in the GOAT debate. It's usually Kareem or LeBron. So both of them, Kareem played with Magic and then LeBron hopped teams and 3 times. So it's like, how are they in the GOAT conversation? It's like, it doesn't make no sense at all holding Shaq against Kobe. And then when you look at it, Kobe was young, Shaq was in his prime. That's what a lot of people don't get. Like Kobe was in his early 20s. He was Anthony Edwards' age when he was playing with Shaq. So my point is that if LeBron was 22, 23 playing with a 28-year-old Shaq would have been the finals MVP and he would have been the best player also. And then in the reverse, if a 22-year-old Shaq played with the 28-year-old Kobe would have been the best player. And then a lot of people don't understand also, like Shaq and Kobe was the ultimate 1A and 1B. It wasn't like Jordan and Pippen to where there was really a obvious sidekick. Or even Magic and Kareem, even though Kareem was older towards the end, so it kind of disfavored Magic because Kareem kind of did like, fall off some towards the end because he was old, but so Kobe and Shaq is really the only 1A, 1B for real, to where both players were just that great because there were seasons and people like to always post it's a famous picture. I should put it up. I might end up putting it up in a video of the averages in the playoffs. And some series, Kobe out-averaged Shaq in the playoffs. Against the Spurs, Kobe was killing Shaq more, killing the Spurs more than Shaq was. So it went series by series. The reason why Shaq has 3 finals MVPs is because the centers that Shaq went against in the finals was trash. I ain't gonna say trash, but they was weaker than the guards. Like all 3 teams that they faced was guard. Like the best player on the teams was guards. You look at the Pacers first, their best player was of course Reggie Miller. And I forgot who even their center was that Shaq was checking, but we know he wasn't great like that. Then they beat the Nets, and Jason Kidd was their best player, another guard. Shaq was being guarded by like Kenyon Martin and I forgot the other dude name. And then they beat, who did they beat last? Oh no, first they beat Iverson. My bad. The Pacers was second. So they beat the 76ers. So we know that Iverson was their best player. I think they had Mutombo, but Mutombo was a little bit older. And of course, he couldn't do nothing with Shaq. So people don't never look at stuff at context and break stuff down, because that's why I be saying that y'all must not have watched the games. Y'all just be looking at box scores or just looking at the final result. Because if you watch them games, you know that Kobe had checked the best player, and all 3 of the teams they faced in the finals, their best player was a guard. So Shaq got to go up against center. Shaq didn't have to go against no great centers. He had his biggest competition when they played the Spurs. And that's why Kobe picked up the slack most of the time when they played the Spurs. So people don't like to look at that and look at that in its context. Like Kobe was all first team NBA. I think it was 2002 when Shaq was injured to start the season. Like, he had a bad training camp or was overweight or hurt his foot. Kobe was averaging 30 and he was killing it before Shaq came back. And the Lakers had a winning record. Like, people really don't sit back and look. They just look at what it is, and they wasn't there and experience what was really going on. Like, Kobe was really 1B. It wasn't no Scottie Pippen second fiddle. Like, Kobe was that good, and he was that young doing it. So to me, that using Shaq as an excuse is some BS to me. I hate when people bring that up. Like, everybody besides Jordan, and that's why you could say Jordan is the GOAT, and I had Jordan over Kobe. Everybody else then played with other top 10 players and Hall of Famers and all of that type of stuff. Everybody had like a 1B type of player. And then Kobe is the only one. And that's why people criticize Kobe for getting rid of Shaq or forcing him out or whatever. But that's the best thing that Kobe could have did. Like, imagine if Kobe and Shaq continued to play together. Yeah, Kobe and Shaq will probably have 5, 6 rings, but Kobe got 5 rings anyway. So it's better for Kobe to have got them without Shaq than with him, because if they would have won 6 rings together, people would have held that against Kobe. Kobe would have basically been Scottie Pippen. That's how people would have really been looking at Kobe. He would have never got out of Shaq's shadow. So it's good that Kobe did get rid of Shaq and was able to go to 3 finals and win 2 without him, or he wouldn't have got the credit that he deserved. And I don't understand how people don't look at it that what Kobe did without Shaq proves how good he was. It wasn't that he just needed Shaq like that. And that's what I really hate about people and people bringing that up. Like, people need to let that go, basically. And then second, he said that Kobe wasn't dominant for long enough because basically LeBron came along, which is also dumb. And this is why one of the reasons why I don't like Draymond. Like, Draymond's such a LeBron stan for what? Like, why are you so like always on LeBron D, always trying to be LeBron best friend when y'all supposed to have a rivalry with the Warriors and the Cavs. Like, you shouldn't even be cool with LeBron like that. You never played with LeBron. LeBron was your competition most years. But it is what it is. But anyway, bringing up the fact that Kobe didn't dominate as long. That's also BS because Kobe was the player of the decade for the 2000s. Go look it up. So he was voted by everybody as the player of the 2000s. So mean that he was the best player from the beginning to the end of the 2000s, which is true. Every other player came and went because in the beginning of the 2000s, it was Shaq, it was Iverson. LeBron came like 2003. That's like kind of like the early mid, but LeBron didn't win a championship the entire 2000s. From 2000 to 2010, LeBron didn't win his first championship to 2013. So how was LeBron in the GOAT conversation or in the best player in the world conversation when LeBron didn't win nothing? He won, I think, 1 or 2 MVPs towards the end of the 2000s. Like, I think he won like maybe the 07 or 09 MVP. So it's like, how the hell is LeBron even in the conversation when at that same time, Kobe had 5 championships and the MVP, all NBA defense, everything over LeBron during that time. It was going to 3 finals, winning 2, when LeBron only went to 1 finals and got swept. So it's like LeBron wasn't in the conversation. Yeah, you could say that, oh, LeBron was, in the conversation, or, a lot of people consider LeBron as one of the best players in the league, but most people wasn't giving LeBron the credit like that because he didn't win nothing. LeBron still always had that over his head, regardless of how good he was and winning MVPs and having the best record. The fact that he was flaming out in the playoffs like Peyton Manning, looking like he was just a regular season warrior and player. And that's why Skip used to always break it up all the time. So it's like that doesn't even make sense. And then for LeBron, like people then brought up is that how long was LeBron really the best player in the NBA? Because soon as LeBron started winning, shortly after, Steph Curry came along and started dominating, and people was calling him the best player in the NBA. And then we know LeBron hasn't been the best player in the NBA for like the past, like 8 years or something like that. Like, LeBron ain't been the best player in the NBA for the longest because it was arguable that Durant was when, he was on the Warriors. And then there was Steph Curry that was right there getting acclaim. But then even since because we know the past couple of years it's been Giannis and Joker, and then Embiid a little bit for the 2020s, from 2020 to 2024. Now it was Giannis at first, and then the last like 2 years has been Joker. So it's like, even in 2020, when the Lakers won the championship, LeBron wasn't considered the best player in the world, just hands down like that. He was still one of them. His name was still brought up, but it's like he wasn't hands down the best player in the world. Like, LeBron hasn't been hands down the best player in the world since maybe when the Cavs beat the Warriors in the championship, when they came back from 3-1. Really from like 2013 to maybe, I'll give them maybe 2013 to like 2017, 18. But in there, you can mix in Steph Curry. So it's like people act like LeBron was really the best player in the world for 10, 15 years. Like, that's bullshit, because from 03 to 2013, LeBron didn't win no championship and only made it, he made it to 2 finals, and he got swept in one, and he had one of the worst finals ever against the Mavs. How's that the best player in the world? So, and then from 2013, to 2023, let's do the next 10 years, he probably was the best player in the world for like half of them years. Because like I said, you have to bring up Steph Curry and Durant, who was always right there. And then definitely, since I forgot what year Giannis won the championship, I think it was 2021 or 2022. From then, LeBron hasn't been the best player. Then I think Steph and the Warriors won it in 2021. So from 2021 to 2024, LeBron hasn't been the best player. So we really might be talking about, from at the most, is from like 2013 to like 2019. LeBron has been the best player. So what is this longevity that LeBron didn't have? Like, it just don't make sense at all to me. And I really hate I just hate the bias. And then you see how biased Draymond is, because how you gonna bring up LeBron and then not bring up Steph when you was there witnessing Steph greatness? If it wasn't for Steph, you wouldn't have 4 rings. You love to bring up 4 rings like you was the biggest reason for that. No, Steph was the biggest reason for that. So, and then of course Steph won the only unanimous MVP, and I think he won back-to-back MVPs. So Steph was the best player in the world at some point during LeBron's career. It just is what it is. So the Draymond reason is bullshit. I'm sorry, it is. So like I said, there's no real reason to leave Kobe out of the GOAT list. Only really the media does it anyway, because all you see, all of the players have them in the GOAT conversation. Because Draymond even himself said that Kobe should be in the conversation. Shaq says it. Numerous other players. Y'all know one of my first videos, my first video that really went big on this channel was why NBA players have Kobe ranked over Shaq. I mean, ranked over LeBron. Y'all know that was my main video that I made that had like 30,000 views or whatever. So, and I then broke down all of the players that agreed. So most of the players got Kobe in the GOAT conversation, and a lot of them even had Kobe over LeBron. Then the fans is like 50-50, really, because there's a certain amount of fans, like mostly LeBron fans, who don't have Kobe in the GOAT conversation, but then there is a lot of fans such as myself who do have Kobe in the GOAT conversation. So the players have Kobe in the GOAT conversation, the fans is split, and then the media is the only ones that don't. And like we said, I don't know why the media don't. I already gave my reason. I think it's like people been saying maybe the Colorado, we know that case that has something, because we know for a certain point in time, Kobe wasn't the face of the NBA because of that charge. They kind of tried to push him to the side. Then we know Kobe personality. Like a lot of people don't like Kobe personality. Kobe is known as an asshole. So a lot of the media, he might have, he might not have been as friendly to them. So they might not really like Kobe like that and Kobe attitude. So, of course, we know that that's a big reason, because we know the media loves LeBron, and LeBron is media friendly and try to be buddy-buddy with everybody. And we know he got Clutch Sports out there making sure that the media speaks good about him. And then Michael Jordan, the media love Michael Jordan also. Michael Jordan wasn't as media friendly as LeBron, but like Michael Jordan wasn't, he had his asshole ways, and we know that Michael Jordan like had his ways that people didn't like him, but most people just took that as competitiveness and Jordan wanting to win. But for the most part, people love Jordan. It wasn't like Kobe. People really looked at Kobe like an asshole for real. So them are two biggest reasons why the media don't like him. And then third, like I said, is that if you an analytics guy, that's why all of these dudes like Nick Wright, a couple other people who don't like Kobe, who never played basketball for real, like I said before in the Kobe versus LeBron video, is that if you never played basketball at no high level, or really like love basketball and really played it like a kid from sun up to sundown, even playing on a high school team, you can't appreciate Kobe greatness, because you an analytics guy. You just go by shooting percentage. Once people start breaking up shooting percentages and plus minus and win shares, all of that bullshit, we know that you don't know about basketball. Because if you play basketball and know about basketball, you know how great Kobe is. The shots that Kobe made, how good Kobe footwork is. Like, just like Kyrie, Kobe and Kyrie is two biggest examples of, if you play basketball, you know how great them people is. Just watching Kobe, you know that people can't do what Kobe was doing. Shooting over two people, shooting left-handed three-point. Like, Kobe was so skilled, it was ridiculous. Like, fuck all them stats. Like, Kobe is one of the most skilled players of all time, arguably the most skilled. Right along with Jordan and Kyrie, it's the only players who as skilled as Kobe. Like, just all around skill. And Hakeem, if you want to bring in a big man. So that's what it is. Also, most of the media didn't play basketball for real and don't understand basketball. They want to look at stats and analytics bullshit. But this is not a math equation. Like, like this is basketball. And then basketball and know about playing basketball, and you know how hard it is to be as great as somebody as Kobe, you would give him his props. So Yeah, it's real bullshit for real. And that's what I wanted to mainly say is that Draymond don't have no reason, and it goes to show the media and people don't have no real reasons for leaving Kobe off the GOAT list. Besides, they just don't like his personality, or they big on analytics and they want to look at dumb stuff like shooting percentage and all of that dumb stuff, which doesn't mean nothing because some of the best players, because I know for the longest, I don't know if it still is, but Anthony Davis had one of the best plus minus and win shares and all of that when he was with the Pelicans and even with the Lakers to a certain degree. And what has that got him? Like, like all of these players who good at analytics and win shares, like I know Joker is real good. I mean, it didn't got them one ring. Like, it got him a couple MVPs, but Anthony Davis don't even have an MVP. But it's like, whatever it got you, like, regardless of what you want to say, it didn't got Kobe 5 rings. So regardless of Kobe shooting bad and all of that type of stuff, he went to 7 finals and won 5 rings. Most players can't say that. The only players that can say that is Jordan, who went to 6 and won 6, Magic, who won 5, and I think Magic went to like 7 or 8 or something like that, or maybe even 9. Who else? Not even LeBron still don't have 5 rings yet. He only got 4, and he didn't switch teams 3 times. So it's like Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan is the other one because Tim Duncan got 5 rings and he lost 1 finals. I think Tim Duncan 5 and 6 in the finals. Yeah, the only loser to the Heat. So, it's only like 4 players who have won as much as Kobe. And then we're not going to count, of course, Bill Russell, playing in the championship every year when it's 11 teams. So, like I would rather take what Kobe had. People act like it's better to have a better win percentage and shooting field goal percentage, but that win less. Like, okay, so it would be better if Kobe had a great win shares and per game, but he only had 3 rings? Or let me guess, it'd be better if Kobe was 4 and 10 or 4 and 6 in the finals, but he had stats and win shares like LeBron. I'm pretty sure Kobe, and if I was a player, I would take being 5 and 7 in the finals and having 5 rings than to be 4 and 6 in the finals and to have, all of the stuff that LeBron has. I'm pretty sure LeBron would trade all of the stats and all of this BS for 1 more ring and less final losses. So it is what it is. I just wanted to break down this quick video and dispel what Draymond was talking about. It's all bullshit to me. Like, there's no real reason. I can understand not having Kobe as the GOAT because Kobe, my favorite player, and I'm a big Kobe fan. But if y'all seen my top 10 list, I had Kobe third, I think, third or fourth. Well, he could have been third or fourth. Him and Tim Duncan go both ways. Like I said, if you want a big man, I won't blame you for putting Tim Duncan over Kobe. And then I think Kareem and Michael and Jordan over Kobe. So it's not like I just got Kobe as the greatest of all time, like I'm just a stan. I only had Kobe third or fourth, depending on how you want to look at it. So let's kill all of that. Like, Kobe definitely deserves to be in the conversation.